作用。
我这长老来长家把来当年教唆，大姐经所结别三难结着来变结了三结，这不来就怎见当结的外当的为就当den不来就结动。东尔解决当朝外决决东外没别的话，面朝外决决年人少，年当这位当娘前波了，那不来就来解，今年做到超绝界的那的在些吧，没也人间滚大吉嘛。这道当街来了当我也当为查解我上坡这边莫lâm道当叫我当街也见我son对现界对年了来对吧也叫我滚。对这的那对呢，三界那三界这界，原来就把那太子来这界也那马略，他们这Gyalwa大界我外没得到我外没谁叫做。yang ji yang lai ya zui zhe gui jie jiao wai gui jie yuan de rao zui jie de wa rai xie tam ji da ji de me doi dang bai zheng wai dang bai dai zhen nian nang dai jiu bei de jiao mar me jiao dai de bei dang bai ye jiao wai de da la ne che bar jie na sai dang bai nam dai chen jiao Nyambo do gebo jebo papi chugwe je jawai de da lani chubara je chubai gan lambi jachi wa doi jawai tamje laya mo sambo je lai teb Top doi je jawai gun lai changza lai chubara je de jai shedai de mui wangi Le doi nga doi de je ye je jan je bai je je bai de doi dam je da je so zara jai cho je ja wai gun doi san je ran ja nam doi lo doi me loi dan cho wai gun je sen doi nga lai jai de doi gun Kanam cho chui je de drama non chan chui ren pa san je ma chan Gwen boy de doi da je dam je lai ko la la na me ba Kurwai gui nyang en da de kan je de da lai zho wai gwen Pe shin de we je gal bai shin je dun je shu 달모이 람자 조와 제 창자 와다 최제 샤바다 제조에贵心 소와 예제와 종전 다제 제조 담제 조베 장조 체월 워 인벤자라 사도 사마야 마나 바라 Bandra sado de no ba de joy me ba wa so do gai me ba wa so ba gai me ba wa ana ra do Siddhi mandra yada sarva karma Siddham shiri yai kura vang ha bhagavan Sarva dada gada bhajra ma me bhajra ma samaya sadoi vai bhajra bhi me ai vai she namra dam Wang Jin Sirje Zai Je Wai Benza Rije Ai Chi Jari Koryo Ge Rave Yongsu Korwe Wesu Reye Nyabu Revu Chora Shar Leba Lo Zambu Namine Leda Leb Lamje Drame Nyeda Drame Nyeda Rimbo Che Ribo Basam Je Shinge Donje Yo Pai Mamon Bai Lodoi Koloi Rimbo Je Norbo Rimbo Je Zomo Rimbo Lumbo Rimbo Je Lombo Rimbo Je Dacho Rimbo Je Mabi Boye Bombay, Yeme Ma, Chewa Ma, Le Ma, Kara Ma, Heda Ma, Nazal Ma, Deja Ma, Nyema, Dawa, Rembo Che Do, Chole Namba, Janzi Uzu, Lada Me, Panjur Pusum Chaba, Ma Chawa, Ramjam Jazu Duji Changlen Deba Ngombar Gonde Lama Yidam Sanje Changju Semba Pawu Chejong Sume Chodan Cheba Nalam Bulwai Je Wai Tuji Shezu Zoi Jene Chenje Lauda Zoi Sashi Beju Chushe Medo Ra Re Ra Len She Nyende Jemba Sanje Chinde Migde Bulwai Drugui Namda Jeng Chebara Shoi Choju Dezo Shubai Sanje Lebin Do Yedam Lazo Gordan Je Dezum Deje Malu La Len She Re Ra Jeba Jewa Bumdan Donjur De Mendra Jik De Ne Mele Kuma Nala Bon Zergun Jezu Shene Chenje Lab De Zolo Om Mendra La Ponza Menga Samondra Samaye Avoi Tendroi Zoi Je Palai De La Mai Lai Gonzarai Chenen Bien Nan Jenen De Bolai Wei Kangui Kalai Ba Jazoi Cui Shi Bei Jeze Na Wai Dai Doi Bai Jaroi Je Chi Je Wang Chu Palai De Lai Mai Lai Te Joi De Ze Lek Ba De Bolai Wei Kan Soi Yan Lai Trôi trôi trên trên lê soi bê đam chơi cha ra chân hoa đôi rồi xie cho nên bỏ lại để lại mãi lại đó là về chơi người tên nên chơi để bỏ lại về con đôi đòn đôi nhân chế rồi rồi bê sẽ bê đôi rồi rồi lo chế gọi solo nhân chế men ra sang bộ de bộ về chẳng chú lòng la par chế mê dùng chế de zum de chế công bảo Simba Mendri Shiva Menajan Namgan Drova Drova Jo Simje Namje Samba Da Loye Chedra Chedarava Chejun Tumon Tekba Cheji Korlo Gorodo Solo.
And number language lantini samjita hitele shwada chapji tini tanda streaming yor traje ge tone kan yor ale ale yes okay antaji tini tanda ta zongin samjita shwada chapji tini ngazo the list is na jasa dirila na the list tini shama kashiring rodon kachemegi junche tera teni ngondo Cherezig chi manya tansala soba tang tini gomde chikta yes okay Mati indu tini ta mambo shues kamendo ta zowa di nanje tsama anda tini inge senge inzang tini di tola yangi jikse kashi shugi tini ta jidang Chenrezig gomdi di nyamlen di ta kansorogo Dorje nane ta nganzu mirab jingyi ring mayimba mirab mangbugi ring la ya teni ji nganzu panon raba jini ta nganzu laka jiri o di indu di nganzu nares chini ta dong min tuni durab nik zajik shunari teni ta durab ta kazu badu ta zambula negi yona ya teni digi ring la ya nganzu nares chini gomya ka kokab yongwa di nganzu sodere o di indu tanda nares kokab thodo batila yang tini mune 쇼지내는 건지 따츠람 망비게는 소사자죠 수능의 이식을 소사벌 때는데 그거 종대바 진예바텔라 이 산제세지 된다가나지 미세 랑스즈 진전자별로 메카지는 때니 그래서 그거 포더버리스 저는 투루자고지도 기침버를 챙겨도 teni ta 가수진 건지 nyamlendera teni chosa dibjana soba kasu tu metodu tanganzo rangsoso kita rao rangsoso rale giraba wati yentin tangin teni kumachiya tang nesna yanti chik tunchong mare tunchen shuya jibu tam chiri teni nganzo teni chode diyo ta taji ki june yang chik longdan chila soba sanzo togu rewes wang soba sanzo togu rewes na tesh tos shuya kabari nangame luksanaji nangame luksatsamji mari chidang tila chenlagwe tini jik cheba yore tingadu kano wang soba wang tisuna soba tanzo jik ngisegi kabdu jik lakhab kindewa tanzab tiene tini menga sanzo kabdu na ya mato jik indres ragam na ju tini nyamba tetamjigi tini jik kansarugu chinabdun juk tukuru vesina shuya kabori o te indi tenzo yang tolo jago jadi kichimbari tingadu ta tetamji ta lama sanzungi inge tolo shuya mato tini konzo da nge kansedi dugu tingir and the end yes so basically what I was saying was that of course, a great and warm welcome, and of course, a very Merry Christmas, Xmas, to all of our Western friends, and it's a wonderful occasion and a great pleasure to be with all of you, to have a moment like this, a chance like this. After some time now, yeah? Is this the first time after COVID? No? Is the second one? Thingy body. Yes, after COVID, yes. So therefore, yeah, it's wonderful to have this opportunity. And I thank all of you for coming. I'm sure it must have been challenging for all of you to come all the way like this. First, to travel all the way and then to bear the hardship of weather and various circumstances. And so now, during these few days, that we are trying to accumulate some merit through the meditation course, and as I was saying in Tibetan, that these conditions are made possible through a combination of mainly two main factors. One is our own accumulation of merit and wisdom, and on the other hand, it is the aspiration and the blessings of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Arhats, and particularly in the name, in the form of our spiritual guide or spiritual friend, often known as teacher. And so therefore it is due to those two combinations that we have such occasions. It's not just plain, due to scheduling and due to planning and due to having annual planning, and so therefore say something like, hey, let's go to this program, actually there are infinite amount of conditions and that comes together. And so, of course, to summarize all those conditions, we often describe it as precious human existence. And so, therefore, that is a very practical way to summarize. It's not just, being born and having a human rebirth and so on, but there are countless of components that comes together, and that takes actually a long, long time for us to really comprehend, actually. Yeah. And so therefore, in short, we are here and we have to appreciate this. We have to have a sense of gratitude both to ourselves and to all others. Yeah. Meaning all others in terms of starting from our spiritual friend, parents, and various friends, non-friends, strangers, individuals that we don't know at all, for the fact that we share the same air, we share the same ground, in all of others' doings and various happenings, and they contribute to where we can feel I am here, And so this is something important to reflect, and not necessarily to say we have to force ourselves to feel thankful, but more in a way that if we just reflect, then the gratitude will, I think, often comes by itself, whereas the other way around is if you focus on just pain, on plain confusion, doubts, fear, then it has a very similar effect, The process is quite similar. Instead of gratitude, it's a more of it's more being a critic, or probably far more negative, I suppose, in terms of then starting from maybe one's parents, then all the way to till ourselves or to ourselves, that we begin to be very, very negative about it, that all of this confusion is coming from all of these factors, Basically, it's the same a way of thinking. Yeah. Whereas in this case, what we're trying to do is use the very same sort of pattern, but in a way that is not critical and without any kind of judgment and saying this is it or this is that. Instead, we just reflect. Not starting from confusion, but basically starting from what we can remember in general. And so, in that sense, then we can develop a sense of gratitude without having to force ourselves, and most importantly, without feeling those negative emotions, such as those, how to say, criticizing or blaming emotions in a way that I'm here because of my father, or because of my father, or because of my friend or sibling or someone. Instead, then we can feel a sense of gratitude that no matter what they did, or whether it's good things they did or bad things they did, at the end of the day, it's that action, that course or history of things that took place at the end of the day led us here, where I can sort of have a sense of probably not complete clarity, but at least a sense of understanding in a way, And so, in short, basically gratitude. Yeah. If you can feel that, then we will make very good use of this occasion. We will make very good use of this moment. Meaning, from a Buddhist point of view, then we'll be able to accumulate those two kinds of accumulation, merit and wisdom, Sonam and Yeshe in Tibetan. Sonam as in sort of credibility, For example, if we disengage, or if we disentangle ourselves from the basic 10 non-virtues, then from a worldly point of view or from a social point of view, we gain credibility. And that is clear from any social angle. And then, of course, from a unique perspective, which is a spiritual perspective, then obviously, even more in a way. So this credibility, basically trust, yeah, confidence in oneself and trust and from others. This can be gained when we disentangle ourselves from the 10 non-virtues, And so that's why the very first steps are that of taking refuge in the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha and refraining from the 10 non-virtues. And in this way, as we become more and more comfortable with the kind of discipline in a way, then credibility is formed, And so therefore, then what you say has value, what you do has value, And then, once you have that, then we can have more and more or better conditions to accumulate wisdom or yeshe, meaning that the general term for it is wisdom, or sometimes primordial wisdom. I guess that is a bit of complicated subject in some ways. But I think it's. I mean, if you try to sort of grasp the idea of wisdom through an academic way, yes, there are various formulas that we have to learn intellectually in order to be in order to have the the ableness to have a very clear, sharp way of assessing moments or situations or of one's own emotions and so on. So yes, that may be a little bit complicated, but even if we don't have the luxury of developing those intellectual skills, let's say, through almost like saying through very basic common sense, we have the ability to have to express wisdom. Yeah. That's always there. Meaning that, how to say, for example, if you see, if you experience a situation out of nowhere without any kind of plan, if you happen to see that someone needs help, someone is probably rescuing or something, without having to be taught, without having to be told to do so, that it's almost like an instinct, but it's not exactly instinct, but sort of a very spontaneous, how to say, expression comes through, in order to help. And maybe we could see that as a very sort of primitive form of wisdom, but nevertheless, it's something similar, it comes naturally from within ourselves, without having to be altered or something, Intellectually, if we learn about the wisdom, the benefit is that then it quickens the understanding. It somehow, in a rapid way, we will be able to somehow understand that we have this wisdom. But even without that intellect, we still can express it. No matter whether we are scholars or rocket scientists or anything like that. So, in short, we'll be able to accumulate these two folds of accumulation, merit and wisdom, through these precious methods. And the method that we are using is that of the Cherezig Meditation. And it's a very practical one, very commonly used, not just for a few generations, but for over many generations. It was a practice that was, how to say, in a way became popular, but it's not really due to just popularity, but due to the benefit, when it was introduced over the Himalayas, in those regions, and then everyone could practice it, no matter what kind of life they were leading, that everyone was able to practice it, and so therefore it became sort of popular, but it was not really due to popularity, it was just due to more practical reasons and effective reasons. And now that we have this here right now, we can use this. And so this is something to rejoice. This is something that we must make a good use of, you know. It doesn't take very long, time-wise, you know. And at the same time, if we attend these sessions, either directly here like this, or I suppose through streaming also, there is benefit, maybe 50% less when you are viewing via streaming, you know. But nevertheless, that 50% is still very, very beneficial. The benefit comes through, to some, I suppose, trying something new, meaning that maybe to some this is completely unique, and to some, those who have been practicing it, to continue to practice. Yeah. That continuation is very, very vital. And for those who may not, who had a good start, but in between, maybe there was a dry spell or something, then this is once again a good opportunity, or any opportunity that you get. It's a good chance to again sort of develop that spark once again, you know. So therefore, it's always a good occasion, yeah. And so therefore, there's no need to feel guilty about not having known this practice, or having practiced and having developed a sense of a break. When you get the chance, you get the chance, and you make the most of it, you know. But then not to make it a heavy burden on ourselves, we do it regularly, and not to sort of go overboard, how to say, doing it in one go a lot, and then again having a long break, you know. So in this way, then it's a good occasion, yeah. And so in this way, then we will do this meditation, and I suppose a number of you have taken the Sojong vow, I suppose, yeah. And so this is once you take the Sojong vow, then it becomes a very tough combination. You double the effect of doing the Chenrezig, because when you're hungry, then the concentration becomes not to a point where we are desperate, but avoiding the evening meals then helps to have a sort of much lighter sense, and then through that, then we are able to concentrate better, and the sleep also gets affected, of course, and you are able to somehow sleep early, you know, yeah. And then because you sleep early, you will wake up early, yeah. And then during the next few days, you have nothing to do but to attend these sessions. And so therefore, you have nothing to worry about, you know. So you don't have to worry that I got so many hours of sleep, Whereas normally you have to feel guilty that, oh, I slept so much and I was not able to help, or I wasted that much of time on sleep, Whereas in this case, you'll have a better sleep, you'll wake up more fresh, and then you'll be able to once again accumulate more merit and more wisdom. I'm sure the benefit of taking this, these temporary individual liberation vows by our Khenpos and teachers, and it is true. There is benefit, Yeah. Because we develop a sense of time frame which we can manage, in this case particularly. I mean, the main factor is because we are creatures of time, I suppose, beings who are dependent on time, and so therefore the more we are able to make the most of time, the more sort of confidence we build. Now I forgot the right term. Last time I said something in Europe, something about dopamine or something. Then later on someone corrected me. Now I forget that particular term. But nevertheless, there is a sense of self sort of gratification sort of feeling that comes through doing something meaningful, Every time we do something meaningful, then we become more energized and more clear. So if we just, even if we are Buddhist, we, from time to time, if you put aside this thought that I'm a Buddhist and simply investigate these formal practices, studies, intellects, various aspects of this life, we will be able to see that there is not in any way a part where it says do something that is not beneficial for others and for oneself, in every way possible. No matter how colorful or complicated it gets, the aim from the beginning, in the middle, and at the end, it all leads to doing something that is beneficial for everyone. And so then, in that sense, obviously, it will build up that that confidence, Then, I suppose, from a physical point of view, it will release those good, droplets or whatever. And so therefore, obviously, it's what we say, healthy, healthy. So then with that in mind, then you do your best to follow the meditation according to the text. You know the rhythm by now, you know the melody, and more or less the meanings are more or less clear in your mind. And then with the visualization, if it's comfortable for you, then please enjoy it. If it's complicated, or if it's a nuisance, then you don't have to force yourself. It doesn't matter. I think the point is that we focus on something. Our body is sort of, not to say designed, but according to our merit, then the current human body is more or less the ones we have. In the in different cases, maybe the human body is gets what you call um, uh, developed, or it will manifest in a different way. But right now, our eyes are forward. Our basically the faculties are sort of almost as if it's designed to do something, to do something that is based on focus. And so accordingly, we need to do something. And so either the melody or the visualization or the sitting posture or the breathing style, everything, And then, of course, mentally, the way we sort of focus, all of it is so that during the next, let's say, 1 hour or so, or during or however long the session is, during that time, we simply allow ourselves to forget or let go of everything else. And I think, maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I think that's the point. And during that time, if you can have a good visualization, great, it adds to the flavor in a way. Yeah. But otherwise, if you're able to sort of during that time let go of it, then that's it, I think. Because we really cannot do anything better or anything, maybe it'll sound strange, really, we cannot really do anything good. Maybe that's weird, but if you're able to just simply let go of whether it is a good thing or a bad thing, then it does something. Yeah. And so therefore, we are basically doing nothing, actually. No, during the next 1 hour or so, actually we are really not doing anything. Meaning nothing in terms of not nothing, but meaning that it is not, what we do will not be related to any kind of, anything to do with gain, Yes, there might be a confusion in terms of, but I thought we were gaining merit and gaining wisdom. But that's, how to say, that's something that we say in the beginning, to get ourselves motivated. But once we are really motivated, what is actually happening is we're not doing anything to do with gaining or piling or aggregating anything, actually, because there isn't. And so therefore we are kind of like following with how our lungs function, how our heart beats, how our internal organs function. 24/7, they work very well, maybe hard, But the thing is, they continuously do something. They are focused on their own task in a way, But nevertheless, when they do it, they're not doing it to gain recognition. They're not doing it to gain some sort of popularity or anything. They're just doing what they do. Yes, and if you really focus on what they are doing, it's unbelievable. I'm sure if you are doctors or scientists or something, then you would know the fascinating thing that happens when the heart chambers sort of function, or where each of our organs do what they do. It's fascinating on its own what they do. Yeah. Yet at the same time, that the combination of all those doings, at the end, what it does is, what we conceptually are able to label it as life, or as living, or as this, you know. And so in the same way, during the next 1 hour or so, we basically follow our own rhythm, let's say, our own physical rhythm, you know. And so therefore, there's obviously nothing to do extra, of course, than what is already happening. So instead, what we are doing is sort of kind of, of course, right now it's a formal one, but later on, when you do it individually at home or something, then you can exercise more. And during that time, what you can do is then listen to your own heartbeat, or count how many breaths you take, you know. When we turn that into a practice, then we say breathing meditation. But actually it's nothing, there is no real breathing meditation. It's just, breathing meditation is just a way of making you realize that you're breathing. And so in that way, you focus on what you can sense right now. Yeah, right now we are not that sensitive, so therefore maybe we might be able to detect some obvious pulses like the heartbeat and breathing. But in time, you will be able to develop great focus so that various aspects of your physical constitution will become very clear to you. And in the same way, you'll be able to then slowly focus on how your emotions are rising and setting, and then slowly apply that to others and how others' emotions are rising and setting, and in that sense then develop a sense of connectivity, similarity, and so on, you know. So maybe if you think that way, maybe it's inspiring, I don't know. Otherwise you can do it in the most traditional way, where you have the superior form called Chenrezig up there, the sort of like the flock, like children are here, we are asking for blessing. Yes, that also works, no problem, you know. We can do it that way, and the blessing will be there. And the benefit is more or less the same, actually. Yeah. So whatever motivates you, yes. So then, if you remind yourself like that, then during the next 1 hour or so, which is, in that sense, maybe now it will seem quite long, you know. But nevertheless, whenever you get distracted in terms of, if you're overthinking about something, or if you're drifting into some other thought, then bring yourself back that this is one of those rare occasions where you are doing something very unique in a way, you know. Sometimes we are overburdened because some of you might have been a workhorse for someone else, you know, doing so much for someone else or to others. I don't know, from a social point of view or from a family point of view. Maybe some of you are a very dedicated person where you are constantly doing something for others and you never had a chance to do something for yourself. Or it could be the other way around, you know, we are all different, yeah. Maybe we have been doing something so much for ourselves and we didn't really have time or have the habit of doing something for others, you know. So therefore, okay, this occasion may be a chance to reverse that, you know. Maybe in that sense it's good. But what we're really doing here is not really for the so-called others or the so-called, you know, oneself. Yeah, actually we are doing something entirely different. Yeah. And what we are doing is basically doing something that is, as I said, you know, doing nothing, doing something meaningless, you know. And so, from a political point of view, from a religious point of view, what our, I don't know, how many billions of human beings are here right now on the planet? How many billions? 8? 8 billions, yes. Yes, we all have our politics, we all have our religion and so on, yes. But actually beating, actually they're not doing anything for either of those two, but they're doing their own thing, and it is allowing us to express in a political way or religious way or whatever way. And so when we really do these meditations, actually it's focusing more on what our heart or what our organs are doing, and not something else, actually. Yeah. In that sense, then maybe we can shed more light on whether Buddhism is a religion or not, in that sense. And so we do something formal and something traditional, meaning formal with a touch of tradition, with a touch of, I suppose, with a sort of a touch of artistic flavor, like the melody, the tune that we apply to recite the words. It's obviously very musical and very artistic also. But it's not for the melody, or it's not for the tradition, or it's not for any of this, actually. These are just sort of gateways. These are just sort of, as we say, the best word that we use to describe Buddhism, methods. These are just methods. And what we are really aiming towards is the most grounded and earthly and very basic aspects of ourselves, which is the best representation is our body, that to a point where we don't judge anything, Let's say we have, maybe some of us are cancer. We have cancerous cells, growing in our body. We can focus on that and be marveled by that aspect, A part of maybe kidney is growing in another organ, and that doing, of course, from what we feel as good health, and from what we deem as healthy and not healthy and so on, from that point of view, obviously it is lethal, it is dangerous, it is painful and so on, yes. But if he sort of, for a moment, because of obviously either yourselves or maybe you have dear ones in your life who are going through very difficult conditions. But what I'm saying here is not to be insensitive, but just to focus on even on that level, and then to see the growth of that cell, That, let's see, if the cell if those cells had a mind of its own, it's not really bothering about. It's not that they are not bothering. They don't have a mind to bother in a way. They're just doing their own stuff, Just like how our heart beats, they're beating their own hearts and developing, Yeah. And so like that, then we can focus on various aspects, and have a very, very little glimpse that whatever is happening, they don't really merit blame at all, actually. It's just they're doing their own thing. Yet, of course, when we have a social pattern, of course, we have to respect that, I mean, meaning that, for example, if you have pain due to I don't know, food poisoning or headache or various illnesses or even cancer, we have to respect the pain, of course. And so maybe we do things to prevent the pain, or maybe we do things to alleviate from that pain, and so on. We have to respect that. But we don't have to be completely overcome, completely overcome by that one particular view, And so, yes, now I drift off quite a bit. Why was I saying all these things? Cherezig. Yes, Cherezig. So, yes. Yes, the benefit of this meditation, yes. So the benefit of it is that then it helps to actually disentangle ourselves from the very sort of, I suppose, webs or nets that we have sort of cast in a way. Yeah. And so, the benefit, yes, the benefit is that it's not entirely for one's own benefit. It's not entirely for others. I mean, when we say we do it for others, it's again a method. And if we say that we are doing it for ourselves, it sounds honest. It sounds bold. Maybe that's beneficial also. Then, if it is good, it's another method. But what we are really doing is it's not for either of those two. It's just we are doing something entirely different, Just like all of the rhythms that I mentioned. So in that manner, then I would like to ask all of you to join in this meditation. I would like to ask for a big pardon for being late, to keep you all waiting. The only part where I don't feel so guilty is because most of you will not be taking dinner. So therefore I feel a little bit good. But for those of you who are taking dinner, then big apology. Yes, so then now we do the meditation.
Dorje, de loi, nai, roi, dai. Marai, bai, me, lai, che, gai, boi, bai. De, zoi, she, jai, gunan, jinen, garai, mai, bai. Che, join, de, bai, ze, namai, dai. Delai, dai, calai, sumai, palai, denen, joy, bai, soy. Sa, lai, joy, joy, che, lai. Nam, joy, gai, dai, bai, gai, je, lai. So, lai, wai, de, soi, gai, je, lai, mai, nam. Je, barai, de, nor, nan, darai, chen, je, loi. Shen, loi, goim, je, goim, barai, soim, bai, shen. Sen, norai, gunen, lai, chai, jenai, me, bai, dam. Tse dere de dai che be gom chen la Nyen gorai shen barai me barai chenen je loi Men gen goim je goi wore soim bai shen Men goi dere goi che be lai mai lai Jön da zalai wai de ben gom chenen lai Jön me me chenen je lai Ye men gom je ngoi jere soin bai shin Jara doi ben ngoi wai soi man de Ma je de garai joi be gom jen la Gom jai loi doi da lai warai chen je loi Nam doi ngoi wai che gu rai soin bai shin Chere yai mai yene chere yai charai wai lai Mai ngai rai barai charai ve gom jen lai Koroi de yere me doi barai chenen je loi Ke wai gondo na manda Dalai me je ba lai lai je je Son da laim je yön dene rai zoi ne Dorai je jain je ge ba Nyeroi doi shoi San je che dai zoi je cho nai lai Chan joi para doi da ne ja soi je Da je gom de je be se naim je Do loi ben jere san je do para shoi San je che dai zoi je cho nai lai San joi para doi Jazoi da je gom de je be so nam je do lai pencere san je do barai shoi san je che dan zoi je cho nan lai san joi parai doi da ne ja zoi che Da je gom de je be sa nam je do lai pen je san je do bara shoi da so kai jai sem je che zoi pe garai da ve de Shele ba joy cherezig Kara salai vesere nga den choi Ze zoin toi je chenen je se Choi je dan boi talai jarai je Wonye shele je pe garai nam Tar doi ren chene jen je de Re da ba be te yo solo E bai me be o jen jen Sham ne doi ngoi jaroi chowai kenje ma gui gondoi kara zosai je je lai jen Dorje je do lai se Chenrezig lai cha zai lai Choi jen je ma gui gun doi kar Do sai je lai jen Dorje je do lai se Cherezig lai cha zai lai Choi kenje ma gui gun doi kar Do zai je lai jen Dorje je lai se Sen lai cha zai lai bao ba chen ren se wan dang cho zhui de zai xiu ba ye Gyalwa se je tam je lai Gui nen dang wei cha zai lai Me don do bei mara me je Shalai ze roi mo la zo bai Wan jara ye je zhala ne bol Pa be cai je she zo zo lai To ma me ne da de bar Me je che da ca me ngan Sem ne nyo mo De boy dam je sha parai je Nyen de ran ja lai chan jai sem So so ke ve la so ba De zoi je wai che zai pe Se nai la ne da ye rang Sem je nam je sam ba dang Loi ye che dai war Che jai da mai Che je kora loi kora doi zo loi Kora wai je se ma doi bar Nyan yin ne me dai to je ye Dong a lai ja zui chen Sem je na lai se zo lai Na je se na je zai ba Tam je jan joi jar joi ne Ren bo me doi jo wai ye Chen ben balan dai joroi je De darai che je solai dai pe Pai be ku le ve sere che Ma da le nai che Chin de wa chen je Nan je jen zhe le ngai sem Chen re se wai gu zoi doi Nan zhe re do yer me yoroi Oi ma ne be me oi ma ne be me won Oi ma ne be me oi ma ne be me won Oi ma ne be me oi ma ne be me won Oi Oi, oi, mane, beme, 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 oi. 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 Oi, mane, beme, oi, oi, mane, beme, 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 oi. Mane, beme, oi, mane, beme, mane, beme, oi. Mane, beme, oi, mane, beme, oi, mane, beme, oi, mane, beme, mane, beme, mane, beme. Dorje le noi pai pe gu Dorje ye ye choi pe yang Chen do ye shi chen bo loi ge wa de ye nye le doi doi Chenrezig wine drive the draw Male bal Thaye sala Barai shoy Dedarai gom de Yebe sanaim ki Da da lai Dile doi Dawai gun Meza le de boravai juramai deva zede ke varai shoy ke mai da de sai je ra je ne chale be cho jo shen de ne che varai shoy ge vai de ye je vai kun so na ye she cho zo de Sena ye le jo we time by gonye toy bara shoy wai mai ma dai ne je dai bara jan dai be nga le ye she je lo me de je de nyen doi doi ba lai zhang ai de je ngai loi me ngo loi be dai je be de je ra bai ve nye de ye je de je chen zhang de ye re me wan dai ai wan je je la je roi cho me je roi rồi je lai mai ye da la zo tai bai wo kan rồi che joy choi che zhang den je nam goi zhen xie de bai je roi ye dam quan de za ve la mai che quan trôi quan de za ve la mai che che yong quan de za ve la mai che che boroi che joi bere je na sa che ne palai den lai moi ran joi ja lai moi ne che joi goroi doi che barai ke ja lai bo lai moi de ze ngai je da Dorje le boy zenge shen yo tai karai na Dorje jalai boy la soi be karai moi boy den boy chona lai sa me shang ai de ze nga choi je Thôi môi rồi chứ bé giờ amre tôi rồi chứ ra tôi yên cho tôi chơi barai xe để ngồi tôi ra về chơi ba đại thế quê nói quê na soi chơi bé chơi Kê jê jên đôi yên đê nè dô bà đê nê tsù lòi jê xên đô bê ngô sù mòi jê Tô bà rà ma lê bà yê Tê bà rà jê kê lòi Đê đê sù lòi vài tà bà nè Đại rồi gần lối trôi đại thế mô Kê ngồi trừ bởi tên đôi đê lọ dô lô vài tông Chê bà rài dê rê nê mê bà lai dô rô Ghê yê lai xâm chê ghê chê giam nhê lai Drum ne gramai ba ye she ba Kunai dai je ma le nyur doi troi bai tang. Karoi mai bai ye ten lai ne che nai dai je. Talo vai shen doi loi bai ye. Ne bai dai dai nye de tsalai de solai de darai che de be je wai de. Mai je zho wai zem je tam je kun zo be san gu bai dorje re ye mo hoi ngon zara san je na wai da ye sui zhe wai doi je jen bai dang yen da zen bai doi je doi na la san je zhang sen ba me koro je koro de je ngon zara me ba ye de wai je je ja we shen ga em de re da je de ne ze be jara ma da je wai shen je bara ma che ba ro de ro je ne nan de ja la do jo de je do je me la da ba de cho cho san je jang zen dam je me zhe ba ra zen je la de zo lo de ya do ben ze je ya a wa ba da na ye so hai cho de ya la wa se je go zo ni zo lai je ye rang da je de zo je zo ba kun choi son la da ve de ba pele jero je wa zem je gue lai ngon zhe ge san je do je zai tam je che de da je lai men je zhem je da ne co zo de che re ne me nyam do be che de sa je ne je nam she che be ma doi de wai jen de je che ke ne pe mai ka je de le de lai san je sho chan je da ne Chebe Jawa Jambarai Joi So Nine Ye Tam Je Se Ba Nye To Ne Nye Be Ja Na Pam Se De Ke ga na je ba la troi ba ye ze be cho le do wa ra shoi chan cho se ne ren bo che mai je bai na mai ke joro je ke bai nyai bai me ba dai ko ne go de pele wa lai